All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. We are in game number 2 of this best of 3 for the WCS qualifiers. There's many other folks covering the casts for today. Some folks are even streaming their own first-person point of views. You can find out all the other streams on Team Liquid. But for us, spawning here in the top right corner of the map, from Root Gaming, it's going to be the Orange Terran player, Illusion.
In the bottom right, as the blue Protoss, it's Pilipili.
Now, Pilipili, he played pretty well last game, if we're going to be honest. There was the mishap, and it was kind of a big one, so perhaps we may have focused a little too much on it, but shy of the one Phoenix being out of position that didn't end the game, I mean, he defended the all-in quite well. He didn't have Storms on his side. I really thought that the Colossus, if I'm going to be completely honest, I thought the Colossus going down was going to lose him that fight, but the coolest #1 thing for me in that last game was Pilipili with that warp in at the last second, like during the fight, was the Zealots warping in right on top, right next to those Marines. No charge required if you're just going to start off smashing them in the face.
Well, it's very important that he hallucinated those other Colossus, take a lot of pot shots from him, and then the Immortals that he bothered to get were actually doing quite a bit of damage, so it did work out the way that I think he imagined, where sometimes, we all know, you imagine it going one way and goes the complete other. But in terms of the entire game, I would really not put it so much on like Pilipili. They did a good job recovering from like a small mistake here and there, and that Illusion just did not have a very clean game, like a very good game, you know? And it's hard to say that when nothing like really drastic happened, like 4 medevacs didn't get feedback and instantly dropped to like, 40 supply. But like in a macro sense, it seems like a lot went wrong. Everything was a little mistimed. Like he could have gotten a third base behind all that aggression, and he just decided to go for the all-in instead. Right,
and that to me just kind of says like he was aiming to play towards that all-in for a long time, whether we realized it or not, because he was going for those upgrades. But I mean, like I think the perfect time to have taken that third, oh dear, was either just after he killed the Stargate, or after he realized his opponent was getting contained, about say 20 seconds later. Either way, it never came down, and that was going to be the big problem with that game. And whether it was on location or whether it was in the main base, that's a whole nother can of worms, but the point is it never came down.
Yeah. Just wasn't... It was a game that, you would say, like, okay, that Terran is afraid of playing late game Protoss, which I know Illusion definitely has had in the past, and I think people still hold on to that, is that you want the game to end before it gets to Colossus and Storm. That's why CV pools happen, so... maybe looking for the same thing again here. I would just prefer a more, like dropping everywhere. I know Illusion has that skill, that micro, that multitasking to do that, to create really fun, enjoyable games, and Cactus Valley being a, it's not a very easy third to get. I think this would be a good map for it too. I'd just love to see that over another SCV pool. But before that even happens, we're going to have an Immortal Sentry lane. Very interesting to use it on Cactus Valley, and apparently, I think he's going to break down the rocks.
Well, maybe. What I find most intriguing about this is the fact that we haven't seen a proxy robo in, God, since I'm thinking back, like, what was that one map? The, like, Polar Night era type days. I mean, these do happen from time to time. King Sejong Station, I think we saw like 1 or 2 on over the course of its lifestyle, but... the nice thing about this, I guess, is there's not a whole lot you need to bust, right? It is a smaller choke, so it's less dedicated to that frontal defense. It's pretty far away, so it's hard to get Marines down here for the main. I mean, this could go incredibly well or really, really poorly, but the thing is that kind of goes for either player.
Yeah, that's true. A big deal about doing this is that Illusion did not bother to get a Reaper or even an SCV Scout, apparently. Oh, there it is. We do have some units in the front guarding a Sentry and a Mothership Core. I think it'll kill the SCV before it gets in to see there's no Nexus, but if a Force Field has to be used for that purpose, then Illusion's basically going to know there's no Nexus anyways. Like, who blocks an SCV with a Force Field out this far? Or he just sees there's no Nexus, so... 2 Sentries also with no Nexus. I think it also might tell him that it is going to be
there we go.
An Immortal, all Sentry all-in, rather than like a Blink all-in, for instance.
Well... we don't know that it's gonna... I don't know if we can call it Immortal Sentry. I mean, like, it's really hard to just blindly guess that. But yeah, you're right. The higher Sentry count does come off as alarming, because most of the time, let's be honest, you don't see Sentries this early versus Terran, period. Much less 2. So, Bunker's gonna go up, sends an SCV out to scout, sees the pylon coming down, now fully aware some sort of aggression's on the way. Still hasn't seen the Immortals yet, though.
Yeah. I think he really does know. Like, he has a very... I think like it's like 60%, Immortal Sentry all-in, maybe a little bit otherwise of some units in the main. But there he goes. Now he knows for sure. He already built the bunkers up here, which is very, very good. Pull some more SCVs from the main, which is a very good thing to do. So you have a lot more to pull to repair.
Yeah, and this is where those sentries come into effect. Now, unfortunately, the Marines get force-fielded on the other side. This might be game. There's nothing else to really throw in those bunkers.
Oh, there they go. They finally found another bunker.
No, that was very perfect. That couldn't have gone better because, oh man, that choke just playing against Illusion here in a big way. While this goes on, it's a big shout out to Germo123. He says, thank you for bringing Cactus Valley into my life. $5 donation. But, oh, Pilipili. Buddy, I love this kid.
Dang.
Illusion is completely out of position, and he doesn't see this coming at all.
That's dirty. They're going to get the force field off, and Illusion's just going to,
like... Yeah, force field the ramp. That's it. You flip a keyboard.
A table.
Yeah. Oh. Table, keyboard, house. Doesn't matter.
Entire house flipped. He gets it out of his parents.
He buys a new one, cleans it up, sells it right away, flips that house. But either way, this tactic was pretty cool. And Pilipili is just destroying the main. Now, he doesn't actually have enough energy for another force field on that ramp, but he's already killed about half the forces, a lot of the SCVs, so there's not really even a lot to pull into the mix. Their time warp goes down, and the Immortals just getting picked up and dropped outside of that warp prism. Mothership core does go down, but at this point, even if he gets cleaned up, there's no SCVs left to play this game with.
Yeah, there's no chances either, like, there you go, GG.
GG.
I was gonna say there's no chances for like a recovery in forms of attack because like I mean having a factor was out. He put another a fourth barracks.